this is Twilight Kids today with a different setup than my usual videos. Push that off. Because today I'm going to be painting something that is underneath this upside down Pringles container, which I use for miniature transport to protect particularly delicate ones. Oh, which is underneath this. What could it be? I don't blame you if you can't recognize it from this blurry mess. It's Ephreal Stern! I would love to be able to show you more detail, but unfortunately the camera that I'm using is really low quality, and I can't really afford to buy a better one at the moment, so this will have to do, because I really want to paint her right now. And I have a particular, well, not the camera, particular scheme in mind, and it actually has nothing to do with what's on the box. It is this. I'm inspired by this lovely image of Guts in his Berserker armor from the anime Berserk, which I am a huge fan of. I own one of the omnibuses. I absolutely love it. So I decided, hey, I'm going to paint her up like Guts in this Berserker armor with a very red and black color scheme. Oh, she looks so... There is so much detail on this miniature. I wish I had a better camera and I could show you more detail, but I don't, so I can't. But I'm going to paint her for you. Anyways, I'm going to start by bringing in my paint palette. Yes, I know it's not a wet palette, but that's okay, because I do fine work without them. I have my brushes here, my water here, and my paint is over here. So let's see, what am I going to do first? Well, I think we need to get this big old cape out of the way, which I tore up using an X-Acto knife because Guts' cape is all torn up, so hers is too now. So let's grab... Oh, I forgot to grab one supply. Hello. It's going to take me about a second to grab it. This. And I'm actually going to drop some water. Paint thinner. And I'm going to start with Folk Art Licorice paint. Shake, shake, shake. Put this in the middle here. And I like this because, look at it. It's huge. This is so much paint for miniatures. I'm just going to add a couple of, ooh, too much water to it. I'm going to need to balance that out with some more paint. To stir that up. And I like to use toothpicks, or in this case, a floss pick or placker. Because this way, it doesn't get all in the bristles of the brush, and the brush becomes nearly impossible to clean up. Set this aside. I'm wiping off screen on my paper towel that isn't on screen because there's nowhere for it. Now I'm going to take this brush. I'm just going to start painting her cape. Her cape is going to be black. This is the final color of her cape because, again, this is going to be a mostly black miniature now because I'm going to be basing her on that picture I showed you before. And Guts' Berserker armor is pretty much black. But I do have some plans to make the armor stand out from the fabric. I'm also going to get the end of her tabard. And do some leaning in. You cannot see my face, I don't think. You can't see my head on camera, I don't think. Can't really tell from this angle. No, you can't, but I am leaning in right now. I'm not being too careful right now because I don't really need to be. And that's why I'm painting her over top the paint palette, so that if I drop it, it doesn't get all over my desk. Paint won't get on my desk. Here we go. Oh, she looks so good. And I also need to get her sleeves. Now, anywhere this gets that is ultimately going to be painted metallic, it will be fine. Can kind of, I know. Also, yeah, I know, I didn't prime her. Guess what? I have never had a problem painting on the unprimed stuff. I mean, sometimes prime, sometimes I don't, and ultimately it doesn't really matter. I get good results either way, personally. You might have different preferences. So the cape goes black. All the fabric goes black. Alright. Wash out the brush. And dab it on the paper towel. And I'm taking very good care of these brushes because these are really high quality brushes until keep washing and wiping till there's no more black. Okay. Just gonna blowing on it off camera to try and dry it out faster, and that actually went on really well. That stuck really, really well. So the next thing I think I'm going to paint while I wait is these bricks. I did not grab out a color for the bricks. Let me grab something real quick. There it is. For the bricks, I'm going to be using Army Paint's Dark Stone, which is a very good stone slash concrete color, and that did not shake up very well at all. Good thing I have my paint mixer. Just gonna push that off screen. Now this stuff, this Army Painter does come pre-thinned, unlike the folk art, which is just standard acrylic paint used by people who paint on more traditional surfaces, such as canvases or sculptures. But hey, yeah, I still use a lot of folk art paint, and now I'm going to just paint the bricks. Considering thinning it a little more, but I think it's fine. Oh, right, gotta try to keep it in frame and try not to bump the camera with my headset that I'm using for a microphone, because I'm a gamer! So anyhow, Berserk is one of my favorite anime series. Just one of my favorite series overall. I think Guts is probably one of the most well-written protagonists that I've ever encountered. It's just so complex. I love it. I love Berserk. I really, really do hope that they give the guy who directed the Netflix Castlevania a chance to direct it, to do another adaptation, because the animated adaptations of Berserk have always had some flaws. That's if I lot of bricks that I've got to paint. And I'll go in and I'll do some like weathering stuff on them later, maybe if I feel like it, but I'm not going to spend too much time on the base right now. Today, she is my focus. I wish she didn't have so many dang accessories, but on her, because she's a very complex miniature, although she was really super duper easy to put together, thank goodness. After assembling Saint Celestine, she was, and her attendants, Ephreal Stern was a, well, she was just, it was just a relief that she was so easy to put together compared to them. Jeez, I swear they broke Celestine into as many pieces as they could. But yeah, I like grimdark stuff. I like darker, like fantasy. I like Berserk. I do enjoy the Song of Ice and Fire books, but I will not be watching the live-action adaptation. I have no desire for that, and while I do enjoy the books, I don't think that they're quite the masterpieces that other people seem to. I'm sorry, George R. R. Martin just doesn't do it for me the way that other authors like Brandon Sanderson or Mercedes Lackey do. Also, he takes way too long for hiatuses in between his books. I mean, we're still waiting for that series to finish. Be careful not to spill water everywhere. Now again, I'm wiping off my brush until there's no paint, no color comes off it, to make sure there's no paint dried in the bristles, because that would ruin the brush. Now I didn't paint everything because I actually had attached some little scrolls here as a little personal touch to the miniature. And now that her cape is mostly dried, I'm going to do her armor, and for this I bought something very special. Folk Art Color Shift Black Flash, which is a black metallic with gold. You can see it on camera. Oh my gosh, it does capture, not this part, but like look at that. Oh, that is so pretty. It is absolutely gorgeous. I have it on a miniature here. I have this little purple dragon. And you can see I did the wing membranes in it, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Just add a little bit here. There we go. And my lovely little syringe here. 1 drop water, 2 drop water, 3 drop water, that's good. And let's mix that up to thin out the paint. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Oh, I love effect paints so much. Oh, so pretty. I have a lot of effect stuff in my paint box. And Folk Art has some of the best. Now with this one, I am going to be a little bit more careful and detailed, so I'm going to pull out and dip into the water first. My favorite brush, which is this really long, really thin brush that is perfect for little detail work, and I'm doing it because I want to be extra careful with the metallics to make sure it goes where I want it and nowhere else. This is a lot stronger than most metallics, which are pretty weak. This one is, though I might still have to do 2 coats. It'll depend on how this coat goes, whether I do 2 coats or not. It only needed 1 coat on the dragon. So yeah, I'm actually not going to be using any official Citadel paints on this miniature. Yeah, not going to be using any. It's all army paint and folk art. Because, well, That's what I have. And what I buy. I mean, they've got stuff. Folk art has stuff like you wouldn't believe. It's just so nice. I love their paints. Oh my gosh. Look at that! Her oh, you can't really see it that well on camera because the camera's really weak. But I don't think I'm going to need to do more than one coat of this black flash, which is absolutely perfect! And oh, it looks like she has like black and gold armor. Oh, it's so beautiful! Oh, I was very right to buy this paint, which I bought, even though I've already used it on a different project, I bought especially for Ephreal Stern. I bought another thing especially for her that I'll be pulling out later, probably right after this. Well, maybe after I do the scrolls. Don't know yet when I'll be pulling out, but I bought another thing especially for her. Also folk art, because that's kind of where I go these days when I want acrylic paint. Which is what Citadel and like Army Painter and all the model paints are. They tend to be acrylic, so you can mix them with normal acrylic paints if you just can't find the color you want and you don't feel like mixing. I do a lot of mixing. Okay, let's get... Our chest plate is so hard to get because there is so much stuff in the way. She has... Did she seriously? She has skulls on her boobs. Skulls over her boobs. Oh my god. That's kind of funny. The Imperium and skulls. It's so weird. You'd think that they were necromancers. So many skulls. Oh, I love her. Oh, she's so pretty. I'm definitely going to be posting this to the group. I'm in a Warhammer Facebook group. I don't post much, but when I do, it's because I've just painted a miniature that I'm especially proud of. I don't paint a lot of Warhammer miniatures. I mostly do Dungeons & Dragons ones, but... Does she have... Oh yeah, her gloves are like leather or something. They're not the usual... Okay, good to know. Let's get her collar. Get in there. One thing I don't like about the... I like her action pose. I like the action pose. I wish her face was less angry. My biggest complaint about the Warhammer miniatures is they always seem to have angry faces. I don't know. I like the more varied stuff from Wizards. I'm gonna make sense of the grim dark future. There is only war. Yeah. In the grimdark medieval fantasy of Berserk, there is only death by demons. Berserk is darker than Warhammer. So, oh, you want to know a surprisingly dark show? Slash graphic novel series, manga series? Made in Abyss. Do not let that cutesy art style fool you. It is very dark indeed. It's not as gruesome as Berserk. Like, there's not as much violence as Berserk, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Oh. I really do love this brush. I can get in almost all the nooks and crannies. And still manage to get some nice details done without putting the paint where I don't want it to be. I think I'm done. Yeah, I think I got it all. Sweet. Got her armor painted with black flash, and she's looking absolutely gorgeous. Yes, queen. Alright, now let's paint the blade of her sword. And for that... For that... Yeah, I'll just use gunmetal. Which is a very, very dark gray, which is a dark gray metallic. It's not as dark as the straight up, it's not as dark as, actual black. Crap, my paint mixer went away. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? My paint mixer disappeared. Okay, that's fine. I'll just grab another one. The whole bag of them here. Okay. Because it didn't quite shake up the way I wanted it to. Okay. Hold on, I feel the urge to do something. Boop! I boopity Foxy's nose. Okay, now I'm going to get that. I'm going to get the blade of her sword. I have plans for that. I have other plans for the sword. More plans to do things in addition to this, but this will be the start. The gunmetal is the start of it. I'm going to paint the whole sword gunmetal. Her sword's color scheme is very much going to be based on Dragon Slayer, which is Guts' sword. And his sword does not have a very fancy... It doesn't look very fancy at all, but it's still such a cool and such an iconic weapon. But I figure, why not pay it homage? I mean, she is hunted by demons, he is hunted by demons, that's where I made the connection. Ephreal Stern is, of course, she's a psyker, which obviously in the 40k universe means she's hunted by demons, much like the mages of the Dragon Age setting. Although I'm aware Dragon Age came after, so, don't at me about that. And Guts is hunted by demons because of the mark of sacrifice on his neck. I'll just hold on for a second. Make sure it contains some of the detail. Here we go. Okay. There we are. Now I'll get the scrolls, and I'm gonna have to grab a color because I forgot I had scrolls to paint. This will work. Skeleton bone for that aged paper look. It is also a perfect bone color, it really is. And for once, I don't have to do any mixing. That's nice. Why are there scrolls here? Who cares? Maybe they're floating up just like the bricks, so leave it. I just wanted something else to set this miniature apart. I wanted something to set this miniature apart, and the scrolls were what I had available to me. I'm not sure what they came from because they came from my uncle, who also paints Warhammer miniatures. Although while I do Sisters of Battle, he does Ultramarines. I'll pick the Sisters of Battle because I like the way they look. I like the models. There we go. did not take very long. Just gonna do a quick rotation because it's time for the next color. Oh wait, no it's not. Now that that's dry, enough. It's time to do that detail I mentioned, which is painting some matte black down the sword, just not the edges, to mimic Dragon Slayer, because that's what Dragon Slayer looks like. There we go. Is there anything else that I want to paint black while I have it on my brush? Yes, is the answer. There we go. Good to go. Now it's time, I think, to paint her face. And for that, I am using Elven Flesh. It's a light skin, because it's the skin tone that I have on hand. And it will stand out nicely against the dark colors, against this overall very, very dark color scheme. I'm still not very good at painting faces yet, so I'm not expecting a masterpiece here. There we go, just a general painting of her face. I mean, you can't tell what I'm doing because it all looks like blobs to you. If I start making money from my YouTube channel, I will buy a better camera. Okay. What next? I'm not quite ready to paint those wires yet. Oh, that's a gun. Paint her gun. In gunmetal. She's got a bolter. I think I thought that was a book when I first put her together, but no, that's definitely a bolter. Why did I think it was a book? I'm also going to go in and I'm going to paint the tubes gunmetal. I'm going to paint this little chain gunmetal. I'm going to paint the grenade gunmetal. And basically just do a whole bunch of details in gunmetal. I'm going to paint that skull in gunmetal. And there we go. Found a spot where I missed putting black flash, so I'm going to do that. I missed one of her boob skulls. Why does she have boob skulls? And I'm going to paint the skull on the hilt of her sword. And this part too. Mostly her sword's just going to be very simple. Again, it's meant to look a bit like Dragon Slayer, so obviously I'm not going to get too fancy with it, because that sword is not fancy in the slightest. There we go. And then I think I'm going to do her gloves next, and for those... Oh, no, that's not the color I want. I'm going to use... Oh, no, actually, no, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use pure red. Boop. Should just a little bit more. Boop. I'm using such teeny tiny amounts of paint. I'm using red because I want these to stand out from the rest of her. So red it is. Oops, I got some on her sleeve. Bumping the thing that's holding my camera in place. Paint. This hand's going to be the harder one to paint because it's gripping the sword, and I don't want to get red paint on the sword. The Dragon Slayer inspired sword. Let's get that done. But I do want to get as much of the glove as I can. There we go. And it kind of reminds me of the Joker from Persona 5. If you've ever played that particular game. I love the soundtrack. First Persona game I played, unless you count Persona Q. There we go. And she has this little other pouch over here that I'm also going to paint red. And I think that's it. That's everything that's going to get painted pure red. Now I've got to go back and do a little bit of touching up. So I need a little bit of black because I accidentally got some red on her sleeve over here. And I'm doing little touch-ups around on some of the fabric. Okay. And I'm going to do some touch-ups with the black flash again. This is fairly standard. Constantly going back and forth and doing just little touch-ups. I have to pull her away. I'm sorry. I have to get in. I'll put her here and then I'll just get really close. At this point, she's table ready because she's got more than 3 colors, and that's like what you need to have them count as that officially. Don't know how the hardcore players would feel about this paint scheme, though. Heh. I mean, it's definitely not traditional, but I don't know. I think I'm going to stick more to doing what I want with these as opposed to trying to keep things traditional. I mean, I definitely did what I wanted with St. Celestine, who I'll show you after I finished with her. Oh boy, that one was very controversial in the Facebook group. Alright, I need some more skeleton bone because I just noticed she's got some paper, probably from Purity Seal, here, and I'm going to paint that. This, it's going to be a little old and aged. There we go. This is not one of my better paint quality paint jobs, but that's fine with me. Oh, the scrolls! I need to do the binding on those scrolls. Let's do that red too. But I didn't just want to paint her. I wanted to paint her on camera. I wanted to paint St. Celestine on camera too, but that didn't pan out. So just gonna paint her on camera instead. And call it good. Alright, there we go. And all that's left are two more accent colors, one of which is for the wires, and that is going to be Void Shield Blue. Now, why is there blue, you may ask, if you're not a fan of Berserk and have not seen anything other than Golden Age Arc? Well, Puck. This is for Puck. Guts' first traveling companion after the Golden Age Arc ended. I need to have something that evokes Puck, so I decided to paint the little wires on the brick part of the base, which I do have plans on what I'm going to do with the base, but I'm not going to be doing those today. Today is just the paint. But yeah, I have to have something to evoke Puck. He's kind of important. He's how Guts started reconnecting with his humanity after he deliberately lost it after the eclipse. Ooh, that was a thing. First time I watched through the Golden Age films, I spent pretty much the entire eclipse with like my hands over my mouth and a horrified expression on my face. It's time for the last color, I think, and it is in this bottle. And it is Red Flash. This is a color-shifting red metallic. This is the first time I'm using it. Actually, no, it's not. I used it on the treasure pile for the dragon. Oh, I love it. It's an excellent contrast to all of the black. And basically everything that I have not already painted will be getting red flashed. So it stands out. I forgot to thin this paint and it doesn't seem to be affecting it at all, so I'm just gonna go for it. Her little talismans here. Gonna paint those red flash. And I do have a secret additional step. It's gonna take this miniature. And yes, that includes her hair. Her hair is gonna be red. I know Guts' hair is black. Hers is gonna be red. Because I want it to be. I'm gonna just pretend it's like glowing with her psychic power. or something if it bothers you. Remember, she's not just any psyker. She's actually pretty powerful, I think. I don't know much about her. I just want to paint her like this. And yes, this also means I have the Keegan miniature. And I have a color scheme plan for him, too. I don't know if he'll get painted on camera, but he will be getting painted. But just in case he's getting painted on camera, I won't tell you what I'm doing for him, but I do know how he's going to get painted. Alright. So there we are. She's been red flashed up. I'm actually going to stick some red flash in her mouth. And not on her eyes. I've just decided I'm going to do her eyes in the void shield. Actually, no, I wasn't going to do a void shield. I should, though, because her skin's too light for a yellow to show up, which was the color I was going to do. Ah-ha-ha! And her eyes are pretty good. Considering, you know, the scale. There we go. Again, I wish the camera was better, but here she is. As well as you can see her, which is not very well said, but I have an idea. One moment. Ooh. Oh, why did I not listen? It's way too late now. I have a plan to get you a nice high-def image of her. I'm going to take a picture with my phone. Camera open. Portrait mode. That's not working quite as well as I want it to. Okay. And then I'm going to try something here. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing because I'm doing it on my computer. That's my computer and my phone talking to each other. Ooh. Oh, come on. Alright, and I'm gonna go to Google Drive and pull it up, and I can put it on the thing for you. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do, and in the meantime, let me go grab St. Celestine. But I was going for an angelic vibe. I glued feathers to the back. She's soft now. Come on, Google. you'll do what you need to do. But yeah, she's got little metallic gold and silver flock on her base. Her armor is a metallic white. She's got gold glitter glaze, and it does not show up very well on camera. But she has 4 layers of color shifting glitter on her wings. Oh, I need to. Stern. Alright, sorry guys, being a bit difficult. In the meantime, we just grab another miniature to show you guys. 'Cause why not? I have this Tabaxi that I painted with a really cool face that you can't see. Okay, I think I might not be able to show you guys this time. Wait. What if I put it up in front? No, it doesn't work. Alright. It's uploaded! Okay. Alright, so the picture is going to be a portrait show, but... Oh my gosh. It's so big. Here she is. Yeah, it looks a bit clunky. I am well aware. But hey. I'm still happy enough with the paint job. And I had a lot of fun painting her. Alright, so there we go. Ephreal Stern is all nice and painted up. And you guys get to see a little bit, not the best picture of Saint Celestine, of my Saint Celestine, but hey, you got to see the finished product, kind of. I hope that I'll be able to get a better camera. I might do a video of showing off my miniatures with my Pixel instead of this, so that you guys can see them in better detail, because it has a much better camera. Oh well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm just going to put her back and her back. Here's the start of the show. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the subscribe. Please like the video. Please leave a comment. Please just interact with my video so that it can be discovered by other people. I hope to see you guys next time, and this is Twilight Kitsune, signing off.